First Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. There's no calling into bishopship. You must qualify. Another qualification, it says, you must not greedy for money. This is where some people are suffering. You find that stingy Christians will remind a pastor about this because they don't want to give you anything. But also greedy pastors or bishops who really love money above average, they will miss out on this. So have a good relationship with money. Be accountable to yourself, to God, and also have a sweet sleep of knowing that you are not taking anybody's money and eat it. I know this practically. One time in my journey of faith, I think 3 to 4 years or so in ministry, I was so much hopeful that I can have a place of worship. And I shared to the church that I was having that time to say, let's trust God for money in order to buy a place of worship. And that team was very powerful. I think something came upon them. Satan hit that team and I lost almost all of them. But here is what happened. They connected to the call. They raised, we did 2 fundraisings that I can remember. The first fundraising was very genuine. It was done by someone who's still with me in ministry now. And I can proudly talk about him. He's my son in the Lord, Apostle Nkosi. He did a fundraising. That is the only fundraising I know and is genuine in life. We raised 16,000 rand and that is still set out 15 years thereafter for building. When we get a building, it will work towards that. But then another fundraising happened, and that fundraising makes me never to forget what the church can do to you. The church spent a lot of money organizing that fundraising. I'm just elaborating First Timothy chapter 3. One of the qualifications of becoming a bishop is that you must not be greedy for money, and I've told you the dimensions of that. So 3 things happened. My team worked very hard to organize a fundraising. And I want to say this to people who want to be pastors. It's not easy to be a pastor. It's very, very tough and dangerous and sometimes painful if you don't understand yourself. So I'm imparting something now for you to know. My team, which I miss and I loved that time, they were so much connected to the vision. They organized a fundraising. One of the ladies who was so committed organized a speaker. Her name is Pretty. She organized a speaker. And that speaker is on television, and the wife is on television. There's a reason I'm telling you this. That speaker came who wanted 1,005,000 rand to be precise. Some 11 years ago. And then the fundraising started, and the speaker preached. And the first thing he said was that I am going to contribute 5,000 rand to this fundraising. And we clapped hand and celebrated and all that. Famous speaker and also popular speaker on One Gospel and in the church, even today. I can tell you, Bazalwan, until today, 2026, that speaker has not paid the money. As if that was enough. Number 2 happened. Another man at the back of the church raised the hand and said, I'm going to give you the 1 million. And we clapped hands. Me being so much aspiring to be very authentic, I said, now that we have raised the 1,005,000, there's no more use for us to continue. I mean, we have achieved the target unless if we want to play games with God. So we started to celebrate. I don't know what happened. The person who said, I will give 1 million, the whole church registered. We now have 5,000. We have 1 million, which means we have achieved the goal. And let me tell you something. We underperformed with regard to diligence of getting details and following up. I just remember the pastor. I don't remember the guy who said 1 million. And the event ended. We ate. We enjoyed ourselves. The following week, there was no 1 million. There was no 5,000. But I want to tell you joyfully, some members of the church until today believe with all of their being that I received 1,005,000. And you can't erase it in people's lives. You can't make them believe otherwise. They have concluded. When you meet them and say, Dr. Convi, they will say he ate 1,005,000. It's very, very interesting in the church. Money has got power. If you don't know that money has got power, you must read Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. God says, if there is money in a situation, be careful who you choose between me and money. It says, if you love both of us, you must know that you are no longer in love. You are now cheating on us. You must choose one so that you can love one and hate the other, despise the other and love the other. So this is my illustration of one of the components of becoming a bishop. You must personally know your relationship with finances. If you don't know your personal relationship with finances, anybody will say anything and you will contract very serious emotional illnesses because you will doubt yourself, misbehave, and start to do wrong stuff because of suspicions and conclusions of people. Until today, I want to tell you something. There are people who shall miss heaven just because of the fundraising that took place at the Kingdom Voice one time 11 years ago, and they have made wrong conclusions. May you not fall on the same trap, Bazalwan.